It's the White Stripes with Seven Nation Army on Vaquero Radio. Good morning, Vaqueros. This is DJ Doc V. You're listening to Office Hours. It is 10:03 a.m. on Friday, February 18th. A rather chilly 51 degrees here in beautiful Edinburgh on the UTRGV campus. Looks like we're looking at a high of 62 this afternoon. Sunny skies, getting colder in the evening. That'll be challenging for those of us that are heading the season opener for Vaquero baseball this evening. They're playing George Washington University at 7 o'clock tonight. But prior to that, at 6:30, we're going to do the annual homecoming burning of the letters. That'll be in the baseball stadium parking lot around 6:30. It was postponed from a couple days ago because the fire marshal said with the high winds we had back, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, that it was a little dangerous to do the burning of the letters. So that'll be tonight at 6:30, followed by our home opener, Vaquero baseball against George Washington University at 7 p.m. I'm going. I love to watch Vaquero sports. This is a really exciting week. It is homecoming week. We've got baseball today, baseball tomorrow. We've got basketball tomorrow night, along with some tailgating down at the Bert Ogden Arena. So we'll get to see a Vaquero men basketball tomorrow night and participate in some homecoming festivities at the Bert Ogden Arena. Hopefully you're getting active in your campus activities. And thank you so much for listening to Vaquero Radio. We'll be here for the hour, the 10 o'clock hour. As usual, at the bottom of the hour, we will do our This Day in History. And at about 50 minutes past the hour, I've got a poem picked out from the 2021 edition of Gallery Magazine, another fine product of UTRGV student media. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. Have you been listening on our app lately? If not, make sure you go to your app store, whether it's iOS or Android or whatever it might be. Download the Radio FX app. That's radio and then capital F, capital X, and search for and favorite Vaquero Radio. This way you can listen to us anywhere you are, on your smartphone, your cell phone, whatever kind of phone you have. Listen to Vaquero Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see what else. We got some great music picked out for you today, including one of my favorites, a double shot of Helmet, coming up a little bit later on in the show. But for right now, let's get back to the music with another relatively recent group that I've been obsessed with. It's The Weeknd with Call Out My Name, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. That's a band called Switchfoot and their song Meant to Live. Before that, you heard The Hold Steady with Stevie Nicks, and starting off that three-song set, The Weeknd with Call Out My Name. I heard that song. I was watching one of those singing, I think it was The Voice, and one of the contestants came up and sang that song. I hadn't heard it before, but I've been obsessed ever since hearing it on The Voice. It's really great. Call Out My Name by The Weeknd. A couple of other interesting factoids. So the Hold Steady song, Stevie Nicks, I don't know if you listen to the lyrics or not, but there's a phrase in there that talks about the carpet at the Thunderbird has a cigarette burn for something like that. But the Thunderbird, this is a great piece of Minneapolis, Twin Cities history. The Thunderbird used to be a hotel. It's still the hotel is still there. It's not a Thunderbird, not called the Thunderbird anymore. It was an independent hotel called the Thunderbird that had its decor was all Native American artifacts and pieces and such, and they had tobacco store, what they would call Indians, tobacco store Indians. They had all kinds of headdresses and art, and the Thunderbird, we used to meet there for conferences and conventions. It was right. From the outside of the Thunderbird, you could look southeast and see the Mall of America, one of the big tourist attractions in the Twin Cities. So love that. I love the Hold Steady. They got some deep Minneapolis roots, and great band. And then Switchfoot. Let me ask you, where were you on October 19th, 2004? Well, on October 19th, 2004, I was at the Quest Club in Minneapolis. That's Prince's, the late Prince had a club in downtown Minneapolis called The Quest, and they used to do live shows there. And that's where I saw Switchfoot in 2004. What were you doing in 2004? Were you even born yet? That's a good question. So a little Switchfoot there. Let's get back to the music. We got This Day in History coming up after this next set of music. But we can't do a Friday without a little Tribe Called Quest. It's Excursions, only on the Valley's Student Station. That's Baby Got Sauce. G-Love and the Special Sauce. That's the Glove doing Baby Got Sauce from their debut album, self-titled, G-Love and Special Sauce. Got to see them, boy, what was that, 2007. Around this time, too, 2007. Valentine's Day, I remember that very specifically. And I got to see G-Love and Special Sauce at the First Avenue concert venue in downtown Minneapolis. Classic venue. If you're a fan of Prince and you've seen the movie Purple Rain, some of the concert footage there was taken at First Ave in downtown Minneapolis. Classic venue. I got to see a lot of people there. Who else did I see at the First Avenue? Saw Helmet. They're coming up next. Got to see the Pretenders. Henry Rollins. Oh my! I got to see the. They did. It was a benefit to raise money for the West Memphis 3. It was organized by Henry Rollins, and I remember that night at First Ave had Keith Morris, the singer for the Circle Jerks, that 80s punk band, prominently featured in The Decline of Western Civilization, the documentary by Penelope Spheris that took America by storm back. Basically was documenting the punk movement in L.A. in the early 1980s. Circle Jerks. Keith Morris, head singer of that group. So thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. It is 53 degrees here in the beautiful Rio Grande Valley. Sunny skies. We're looking at a high in the neighborhood of 63 degrees, but a cold evening for our Vaquero baseball players who have their opening night tonight against George Washington University. So, but don't let that stop you. Our baseball stadium is a great venue to see a game. I'll be there tonight, and I'll be enjoying Vaquero baseball, their season opener against George Washington University. As we do every week on Office Hours, it's time for This Day in History. And on February 18th, 1885, Mark Twain publishes his famous and famously controversial novel, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Twain, the pen name of Samuel Clemens, first introduced Huck Finn as the best friend of Tom Sawyer, hero of his tremendously successful novel, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876. Though Twain saw Huck's story as a kind of sequel to his earlier book, the new novel was far more serious, focusing on the institution of slavery and other aspects in the life in the antebellum South. So this day in history in 1885, Mark Twain publishes The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I can't seem to talk this morning. All right, let's see what else happened on this day in history. In 2006, Shani Davis becomes the first black athlete to win individual gold medal at Winter Games. That was in the speed skating, 1,000-meter speed skating race. Shani Davis becomes the first black athlete to win an individual gold medal in Winter Olympics history, capturing the men's 1,000-meter speed skating race. That was in 2006. In 2010, a relatively obscure website called WikiLeaks publishes a leaked diplomatic cable detailing discussions between American diplomats and Icelandic government officials. That was the first leaked document by Chelsea Manning to WikiLeaks, and some 750,000 additional documents published by WikiLeaks in 2010. In 1959, Ray Charles records What I'd Say at Atlantic Records. The phone call that Ray Charles placed to Atlantic Records in early 1959 went something like this. I'm playing a song out here on the road, and I don't know what it is. It's just a song I made up. but the people are just going wild every time we play it. And so they he recorded What I'd Say at Atlantic Records this day in 1959. In 1930, the former planet Pluto, because the former planet, was discovered in 1930. Once believed to be the ninth planet, is discovered at the Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, by astronomer Clyde W. Tombaugh. The existence of an unknown ninth planet was first proposed by Percival Lowell, but it was discovered in 1930. What else is going on here on this day in history? Let's see. Dale Earnhardt, on February 18, 2001, Dale Earnhardt Sr., considered one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history, dies at the age of 49 in a last lap crash at the 43rd Daytona 500 in Daytona Beach, Florida. What a tragedy there. Died young, 49 years old. Wow, that's a bummer. So that's this day in history. As we do every week, tune in next week for another This Day in History. But as promised, let's get back to the music. It's a little Helmet, Biscuits for Smut, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. That's Jolie Holland with Littlest Birds. That particular track comes from 89.3 The Current Volume 1. That's an in-studio performance by Jolie Holland. Another throwback to Minneapolis. I got to see her at the Fine Line Music Cafe. I'll tell you, if you haven't been, if you're a music lover, Minneapolis is a great place to be a music lover. Lots of great artists come through there. And, sure, you get your big stadium shows at the Target Center. I'm guessing U.S. Bank Stadium where the Vikings play. They probably do big concert tours and such. But the small venues are really fantastic. Fine Line Music Cafe with Jolie Holland, and St. Vincent opened up for her before she was really... I know she's been on Saturday Night Live now, St. Vincent. But Jolie Holland, I haven't heard a lot from her lately, but that was a great in-studio performance on the 89.3 Volume 1. A great record from start to finish. I got that collector's edition, too, on pink vinyl. That's always cool. Before then, you heard a double shot of Helmet. Yeah, I've seen them a few times in Minneapolis. First saw them in Hawaii. Helmet at, where the heck were they in Hawaii? I forget. Got to see them a few times. I'm going to see Ministry next month. Helmet was supposed to open up for the Ministry show next month, but I think they have a conflict because it was a reschedule. So, but you heard Exactly What You Wanted from the Aftertaste album, and we started that off with Biscuits for Smut. That was on the Betty LP. Last time I saw Helmet was in St. Louis at the Firebird. They were doing the concert commemorating 20 years of the Betty record being released. Another great record from the band Helmet, Page Hamilton and the Boys. As we do every week on Office Hours, thanks for tuning in. I got a poem picked out for you. It is from the 2021 edition of Gallery Magazine, which you can still find around here on campus. Another great production of UTRGV student media. If you're unfamiliar with it, well, you are familiar with our programming since you're listening to Vaquero Radio. We also have KVAQ-TV, the Rider newspaper, Pulse Magazine, and Gallery Magazine. This is a poem called Samsara by Emily Cerda. My left hand touches solid ground while right holds up the sky. Life blooms beneath my palm as lightning erupts from the right. My left hand picks wildflowers while my right picks up a sword. I weave a wreath while blood-stained iron claims another foe. Moments, years, in 1,000 lifetimes I've seen everything. Between my eyes, millenniums of blue snow have fallen. Some lives were spent in carefree clouds and others in grim woods. Wing or hoof, paw or hand, I yearned for you in the pale moonlight. The architects of fate always bloom along mortal's road, but misfortune only finds us when red petals open. My left hand grips yours firmly, but my right hand lets you go. Left reaches for your thread, but right takes it from oblivion. I clasp my palms together, and my heart draws you back in. I will become a teardrop in your eye, a speck of dust on your cheek, a ragged scar on your mouth, more than willing. Finally, you and I are inseparable. That's a poem titled Samsara by Emily Cerda from Gallery Magazine, a production of UTRGV Student Media, the 2021 edition. Like I said, you could probably still find that on campus. Gallery and Pulse Magazine, there's some dispensers around campus. Free magazine, pick it up. It's got it's not just poems, by the way. It's got short stories, some fiction, some nonfiction, pictures, artwork, all creative works by UTRGV students. Great publication by UTRGV Student Media. Thanks so much for tuning in. We got couple more songs coming at you. For right now, let's get back to the music with Lou Reed.